Since he has information, you can see liars, you know, this pathological liar, you can see through his lies. 1 minute he is saying that he has information that is relevant to dealing with Al-Shabaab and people who are doing business and collaborating with the enemy. In the other minute, when he's told to put that information in a proper record, he starts running away that he's not going to record that information. That means that's just lies and sound bites for social media and for purpose of inciting the public and disparaging the nation. If he is a man enough and he is a person of integrity, he should put his allegations in writing, you know, together with the evidence that he has, the people who are in the meeting that he is alleging that the meeting, the businesses that those people bring, the collaborators. Since he seems to have a lot of information, it is laughable that a citizen of the Republic of Kenya who is seeking high office is telling the citizens of this country would rather appear before a senate of another country than his own country. We are not stupid people. We are looking through. You can see through his hypocrisy. But we will insist. We are continuing to insist that any citizen of this republic who makes such heavy allegations and who thinks that they are doing so for the good of the country, they are obligated to put that in writing. And and when I say that they should record a statement, it doesn't mean that the National Police Service is not independent. I am just restating what is in the law, that if you have evidence that is related to safety and security of Kenyans, the right place to put it is to take it to the DCI and provide that information so that the people you are mentioning can be investigated and be arrested and be charged. But until you put that information in writing, the rest is just pure propaganda and falsehood that must be treated with the contempt that it deserves. So I challenge the former deputy president to to make his allegations now properly on record if he really thinks that he has information that can help this country. But until then, we will treat it as the usual propaganda and the amazing level of contradictions that is now known for him. You just need to pick some few clips from his archives last year, and you will see the total opposite. What he was telling the security. I was with him in Garissa when he was praising our security forces just less than a year ago. And now, because he's out of office, he thinks that he should disparage our security forces. There were two DIGs who were in Mandera and Garissa, and Mandera and Wajir. They just came back yesterday.
Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen has retaliated that the Democracy for Citizens Party leader Rigathi Gachagua must appear before the Directorate of Criminal Investigation to explain his remarks linking President William Ruto to terrorism. The directive comes as Gachagua continues his political tour in the United States, where he accused President Ruto of meeting 3 members of the Somali-based militant group Al-Shabaab to discuss and disclose business deals. He also criticized the government's decision to remove vetting requirements for foreigners before issuing them with Kenyan identity cards, warning that the move could jeopardize national security. His statement have sparked a storm in Kenya's political and security circles. Senior government officials have accused the former deputy president of tarnishing the country's image abroad and undermining public confidence in state security agencies. Murkomen argued that such allegations are too serious to ignore, stressing that DCI must record a formal statement from Gachagua to verify his claims. These are matters of national security, Murkomen maintained, recalling that Gachagua had in the past publicly praised the police for their anti-terrorism efforts. He questioned why the opposition leader now appeared intent on casting the security forces in a negative light. Deputy President Kithure Kindiki also backed the call for formal inquiry, noting that allegation touching on terrorism requires thorough and impartial investigation. Gachagua, however, has rejected the summon, insisting that his accountability lies with the American Senate rather than the Kenyan authority. He argued that local investigation would not be fair since the police operate under the president's authority. According to him, the U.S. Senate has already begun probing the allegation, and any cooperation from him will be directed to that process. The Democracy for Citizens Party leader's U.S. trip, which began on July 11, the 25th, 2025, has been his travel across multiple states, meeting people of members of the Kenyan diaspora, opening new party offices, and rallying support for his movement. His speeches have been sharply criticized on the RUTO's administration, accusing it of corruption, poor governance, and mishandling national security. Political analysts say that the standoff reflects a widening rift between the president's administration and the opposition, coming at a time when Kenya is grappling with economic hardship, rising political tension, and persistent extremism threats. Security experts warn that unverified terrorism allegation, if left unresolved, could damage Kenya's international standing and strain its cooperation with global counter-terrorism partners. Kenya remains a critical player in the fight against Al-Shabaab in Somalia, and any hint of collusion between state leadership and the military group could impact diplomatic and security relationship. The DCI has yet not to announce when Gachagua will be required to appear before investigators. However, Murkomen firm position suggests that the government is determined to pursue the matter once he returns from the United States.
The former deputy president has any information that is worth consideration, not just by local, even international institutions. If he has that information, he must record it with the DCI as soon as he arrives the country, so that we can take him seriously. Until then, we will just consider it a part of his continuous comedy and caricature that he has become in everything he says out there. You know, a person who poses for a photo, for every step he passes through at the airport, he's looking for the airport police to take a picture with. And that is a big thing. He's going to show us that, oh, he met up airport police officers when he went to the US. That is a joke. It's a total joke. Or somebody who goes to amusement park in a technology company, then starts saying, I had an engagement in an amusement park as a tourist. How many of us have gone to amusement parks as tourists when we travel out there? Either is a pathological liar or is a mental case that needs treatment. And you know, Constitution of Kenya insists that for people to hold public office, they must be of sound mind, which is at the moment extremely questionable. And I guess that it comes with the stress of losing such a high office. And there's nothing wrong for him being treated for mental health, because mental health is also part of areas that we in the security sector would like to ensure that our people are operating in our well-being. And you know, there are many of these cases in the political circles that are untreated, and as a result they cause greater havoc and harm in the country. And I think that it's no longer a joke. Who the deputy president, former deputy president is at the moment is no longer a joke. Most of you share TikTok posts of his messages and so forth. You are actually the ones who are encouraging a person who is unwell to continue saying more things that are going to hurt our country. And I think those who are around him should help him get medical treatment, because then there are continuous conversations. Somebody out there may think that he's a serious person when he's not. You see, management of security of a country is a continuous process. sometimes it's a moving target. You solve one problem, another problem comes in. For as long as human beings are continually interacting, and there are other issues, the people are competing over resources, they are competing, and they're competing over leadership, they're competing over different things. It will always pause, you know, and criminals are getting better in terms of their technology, their tactics, and so forth. So you always continue to invest, and you must always